Join me in a word of prayer. May the words of our mouths and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable in your sight, the Lord our rock and our Redeemer. Amen. So you may notice in your bulletin you have an odd little thing that's in your bulletin that's usually not there, and that's this Band-Aid, right? Everybody should have a Band-Aid in their bulletin. You get to keep it, by the way. But the Band-Aid is our object lesson for the day. What are you going to do with this Band-Aid? Got two questions for you. First one goes like this. First, let's say that Jesus is giving you this Band-Aid, and Jesus is saying to you, you are to use it for yourself. So where do you need healing? Jesus wants to heal you of something right now today. Jesus is going to place this Band-Aid on you. Where would Jesus put it? We had a little bit of a discussion about all this during the course of the past week, and we had some serious answers to that and some kind of cute answers to that. One person said, well, I think what Jesus wants me to do is put this on my foot so it will heal my soul. I didn't do that. So that's one question, okay? The other question is kind of similar, okay? You get the Band-Aid, Jesus is still giving you the Band-Aid, but now Jesus is saying, it's not for you. You are to be the body of Christ. This Band-Aid is for somebody you know. Who are you going to give this to? Who are you going to place this Band-Aid on? So that's a whole different discussion. We had a very serious discussion on some things, and very light. One person said, well, I'd like the whole box of Band-Aids. Well, you get one, okay? You don't get five. You get one Band-Aid. That's all you get, one Band-Aid. Who would you do, and what would you do with it? So, Band-Aids. I mean, what do you do with them? You know, it's for just minor little cuts, right? A Band-Aid is not going to, do a lot of big things. It's a little itty-bitty little thing. It's going to do a small thing. Cut your finger, and you put a Band-Aid on it. It's for a minor thing. Unless, of course, you're a child, then a Band-Aid's kind of a big thing. If you cut your finger, if you fall down and hurt your knee, you want a Band-Aid really quick because you think there's some magic power in the Band-Aid. So you run to your parent, you run to whoever it is, I need a Band-Aid, I got cut on my finger, ow, 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 ow. So you need a magic in a Band-Aid. Now here's the cool thing about a Band-Aid, is that it's kind of hard to put on all by yourself. You kind of need somebody else to do it for you. So if you're a child, and your older sister or older brother, or your mom, your dad, or your grandparent puts the Band-Aid on you, wow, that person is the hero for the day. That person is healed. Pretty cool stuff. It's interesting that you need somebody else to put on the Band-Aid. It's a two-handed kind of thing. It's hard to do all by yourself. So, what does all this talk about Band-Aids have to do with Jesus and faith and all of that? Well, the gospel today, at least a portion of it, is all about Jesus going to Simon's house where Simon's mother-in-law is sick. And it doesn't seem like it's a big thing. I mean, she's not dying or anything, and she's not had a year-long disease or anything. She's just sick with a fever, and she's in bed. Something pretty minor. Something that a Band-Aid could cure. So Jesus does the healing. It's not a big deal. She probably would have been okay the next day anyway, but Jesus heals her. Jesus does his Band-Aid healing. I think that's pretty neat. I think this healing is one of the best healing stories that we have because it is so simple and so direct and so everyday and so commonplace. We get this one. This one we can relate to, and I think that's the beauty of it. Do you realize that God is so intimate with us, so close to us, that God cares about us when we have a simple thing like a little bit of a fever. It's like, wow, of all the things God is concerned about, wars and droughts and plagues and everything else under the sun, God is also concerned about us to the point of caring about us when you have a headache or a little bit of a fever. That is pretty awesome. When we skin our knee and we need somebody to come kiss it and make it well, there's God right there to do it. That's great. So that's one of the really cool things about this story. Like it's so commonplace and it's so ordinary. The other cool thing about this story is what happens afterwards. What does Simon's mother-in-law do after she is healed? Does she say, well, I'm going to take the day off and go shopping now like I always want to do? No, it says what she does is she gets up and feeds them. She gets up and serves Simon and all those who have come to the house. So, you can think, well, Jesus just healed her for his own self-interest. He wanted cake and coffee, and the only way he was going to get that was to heal Simon's mother-in-law, or else else, they were going to have cake and coffee. So you think that's what it is? She's self-interest. I want cake and coffee. You better heal this gal so I can get my cake and coffee. Probably not. Probably not. I'm sure we find ourselves kind of in a similar situation sometime in our life. And that is that we're so busy sometimes. We're so busy. We have so many things to do. We have such a heavy agenda of all the responsibilities that we have that we just think, if I could just have a little bit of a fever, not really something really big, but just enough to knock me out for a day, that would be really cool. I could stay home all day. I could make myself a pot of tea. I could watch that daytime TV and wonder who watches this stuff and what happened to Regis, where'd he go? And it would be awesome. Just one day. I don't want to be sick for a long time. Just one day, so I don't have to do all that stuff. And lo and behold, we get sick for a day. It happens, and we get sick for just a day. And we make the pot of tea, and we watch Kelly, and we do all that kind of stuff. And sometimes during the course of the day, we think, this is kind of boring. I got to get back to my life. Okay, it was kind of fun for a while, but now I want to get back to my life. And so the next day, you can't wait to get back to work. You can't wait to get back to school. You can't wait to get back to the coffee shop to visit with everybody, because you want to get back in the stream of life. That one day was okay, but you want to get back in the stream of life. So when Jesus is healing Simon's mother-in-law of the fever, that's basically all that's happening. He wants her to get back into the stream of life. She wants to get back into the stream of life, and part of that is to be of service to those in her family. I think that's pretty neat. We were created by God to do things. Now we all know that we can way overdo that. We're not created by God simply to be some cog in some machine. We're not created by God to be defined by our work. But our work is part of what we do. If we're a student, we go to school. That's our job. We go to school, we go to class, we do our homework, we write our papers, we figure out our math problems, but that doesn't define who we are. We're also a son or a daughter. We're also a brother or a sister. We're also a teammate. We're also a friend. We're also a confirmation student. You're supposed to write that down. God desired us to be whole and complete and alive. Fevers come and fevers go. There's small interruptions in our life, and sometimes that's okay. In fact, sometimes that's a good thing, for we slow down enough to realize what is our life really to be all about. Now, the major interruptions in our life, those aren't quite so okay, and they're not welcome at all. But back to the Band-Aid. We got those two questions. If Jesus were to give you a Band-Aid today, and you can't, some people said, well, I'd save it. No, you get the Band-Aid today because Jesus needs you to know you need some healing today. So where do you want Jesus to put this Band-Aid on you today? Jesus says, I know you're hurting somewhere. I can help you with that. Here's the Band-Aid. I'm going to put it on you. Would you put it on your heart because you have a little bit of sadness there? Would you ask Jesus, could you put it on my head because there's some decisions I have to make and I'm not quite sure what to do. I'd like to have you to help me out with that. Would you actually put it on your foot and say, God, I'd like to follow the path you've laid out for me. Could you help me decide what that is? Would you have Jesus put the Band-Aid on my hand so that I may do God's work for today? Whatever it is, wherever God puts it, it doesn't have to be something huge. It can be something really small. You don't have to think, well, I can't bother God about that because God's so important and so powerful and so busy. Well, my concerns are so minor. No. God's there in all the major stuff and all the minor stuff as well. Then you have the other question. Jesus gives you the Band-Aid and says, well, it's not for you this time. But now you are the body of Christ, and you are to place this Band-Aid on another person. Where would you do it on this day? And who would you do it for? Again, it doesn't have to be a major thing. The Band-Aid is not going to fix something really big, but a lot of us know people who have really big health issues or really big career issues today, and we think, well, what can I do for them on this day that is something small, something minor, but might help them get through the day? It could be just a combination of a lot of little Band-Aids can amount to something really major. And a discussion at York with somebody who is doing exactly that. Doing just a little Band-Aid for the day to help a family that's in really dire need. That's pretty awesome. How can we use the Band-Aid that Jesus gives us so that we can be sympathetic, or as Marla said, empathetic for another person on this day? I mean, look at Simon's mother-in-law. What if Jesus and Simon and the rest of them had come the next day? Well, she probably would have been okay. The fever probably would have left her. But Jesus and Simon came on that day, and they healed her mother-in-law on that day. And she got back in the life of life living again. So you've got your Band-Aid, all right? Assume it is from God. Either God is saying, I'm giving this to you, and I'm going to place it on you. Tell me where you're hurting, and I can help you with it. Or God is saying, here's my Band-Aid of love and grace for you to give to somebody else. You are the body of Christ on this day. Now, who will you give it to on this day? Remember, the Band-Aid is really a relational thing. It really works best if there's two people involved. One person is a two-handed project. How will God heal you today? And with help, with God's help, how will you heal another person on this day? Amen.